Birdman for Birdman on the Mountain. It's time for the community shout, hanging out here at Birdman Media Studios. Hello to all the viewers out there on WMI TV, on YouTube as well, and of course, Sholo TV. Hey, we're getting into fall. Fall is officially here, so it's time to talk about some fall things. I've got Mr. Kirk Webb with Mesa Fire and Medical District. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Yourself?
Good. So, as I said, the leaves haven't exactly changed yet. We're still getting some warm days.
Yeah, it's nice during the day. It was cooling off at night.
Yep. So, talk to me about what we should be thinking about and what things you've got
Well,
coming
and
with the fire district.
with the cooler weather, I've noticed a couple of people have actually lit their fireplace or wood stove back up. So, it's that time of year to think about getting your chimney cleaned, making sure it's safe, ready to go, and so you don't have a chimney fire, which can actually easily lead into an attic fire and et cetera. So, just some precautions on that. Get it cleaned. Take the time and effort and spend a little bit of money and keep your family safe.
Very cool. Yeah.
Also, with that same thing too is when's the last time you checked your smoke alarms? Change the
yeah.
batteries.
Don't you do that? So, I was always told when they do the time change, of course, we don't change time, but the time
Correct.
change is when I always did it in the East Coast, we always check batteries, check batteries, check batteries.
Right. And when we're teaching the kids, we kind of teach them, hey, one, your smoke alarm is only good for 10 years. So give it a birthday or some kind of day to remind you when it's to give that smoke alarm some batteries.
Right.
Now, granted, there are some smoke alarms out there that have a 10-year lifetime battery. So then you just replace the whole entire thing. Battery comes with it. You don't have to worry about replacing the batteries. Those cost a little bit more, but that's a nice convenience too, especially when you got those high vaulted ceilings.
Right. Yeah.
But you still need to be checking to make sure that battery works, and that's when you're doing that monthly test. That's what you're doing is checking the batteries, making sure the batteries are still working.
So another thing, not just smoke detectors, but the carbon dioxide detector is a good thing to have as well. Correct?
Yeah, your carbon monoxide detectors.
Monoxide, not
Yeah, it's all good.
dioxide, okay.
Yeah, that's the sodas, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's right.
But carbon monoxide, yeah, and here they're typically lower to the ground because carbon monoxide is heavier than air. But if you have any type of gas fired appliance or wood stove, anything that has flames, it can be actually creating that carbon monoxide. Garages, vehicles can create that carbon monoxide because of the internal combustion engine. So if you got that risk and it's directly into the living area as well, yeah, having a carbon monoxide detector and getting those checked as well is a good idea to make sure that they're functioning properly and they'll send out different signals if it's a bad battery or it's got a false reading or something like that. So keeping those instructions to know what those different chirps mean is a good idea as well.
Right. So this show posts on Thursday. So people are watching this Thursday forward. Tomorrow, which is Friday, is the Cavalcade of Cars.
Yeah, we get the Run to the Pines car show is coming to town. We're coming along with the Fall Festival Parade, and so yeah, Friday night I believe they start that around 4 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, and the reason I bring this up is I want people to be aware that it's going on, and we don't really want somebody rear-ending a class. We don't want anybody rear-ending anybody in the first place.
Yeah,
With the classic cars, you got people excited. They run toward the street. People slow down. Just be aware that it's not a parade, so there's not going to be any blockage or traffic restrictions. But you've got people to get excited about it, so be aware.
Right, and they typically travel in the outside lane all the way from Sholo all the way through town, Pine Top Lakeside, up to the casino at Honda. So a lot of people along the streets, lining the streets, checking out. It's a like you said, it's not really a parade, but it kind of resembles one,
Right.
and you get check out a lot of cool cars.
Then Saturday morning, there is a parade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe that's at 10 o'clock in the morning when it starts. Goes from the top end of Pine Top right there. I believe Los Corrales in that area, somewhere by that restaurant's where it starts. And in fact, I think it's Malapai is the street name. And it goes all the way down to the Blue Ridge High School. So lining the streets along there, there's going to be lots of people, lots of kids. And here again, traffic's going to be rerouted on the back streets to get around for the detour. So use caution. Don't be in a hurry to get somewhere. If you need to go somewhere and you don't want to be in part of the parade, make sure you leave early enough so that you're not caught in some of that traffic because it gets frustrating and people make some poor choices sometimes.
Right, right, right. Yeah. So just they say pack your patience, right?
That's right.
Cool. Anything in the medical side that we need to be aware of? So you guys, and I don't know if you're the right one to ask about this. I know you guys got the CON approved down for the.
And there's still some uh, possibility of some delays on that, but yes, currently we are actually transporting patients in the Sholo Linden area of our fire district. We've always been doing the transports within the Lakeside area, but Arizona Department of Health Services has granted us the certificate of necessity, or the CON as we call it, to be able to give us the authority to transport patients within our fire district, and even some of the areas beyond that too. So.
Very good. Most of the stuff for Firewise and things like that, or hoping now we've had rain and then it started to dry up again, so it's still a concern, right?
Yeah, we in fact, fire danger level has increased up to moderate,
Oh wow.
so it's creeping back up there, drying out, and so there's always that chance that we can still have a brush fire this late in the season too. Um, Typically, they're not a fire that's going to be as dramatic or devastating type, because of the cooler temperatures at night slows it down, but it can still occur, and there's a lot of vegetation out there that can burn, so we still need to be cautious.
Okay, so be aware of that and know what's going on. Be safe around the cars and things like that. It's I didn't get them in. They've been busy setting up this year's show. I think it's a little. I mean, it's that transition still.
Right.
The first year that they've taken over fully since the passing of the Gates. So, it's a fun time of year. We've got, of course, the fall festival will be going on,
Right.
and we've got the Artisans Festival will be going on. So just be aware, more traffic.
Lots of activities going on this weekend.
Very good, awesome. Once again, Kirk Webb with the Timber Mesa Fire Medical. Oh, what? Okay, now I messed it up.
Yeah, Timber Mesa Fire and Medical District.
You say it more often than I do. Cool. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, last week on Instagram, and then it went over onto Facebook, I talked about a giveaway, which I don't do very often. And I have these tickets for Disclosure Con that I said I was going to give away. I asked for nominations for a family, and I did get the nominations for a family, and these are going to get given away. So this was done anonymously. They didn't post it up, but they messaged me. So the winner is going to be Kelly Patrick. Kelly, if you're watching, hopefully, you're going to be aware that you won. So you need to contact me. Just get me through the same way you'd contacted me, and we'll get the tickets to you. There might be some extras depending upon her family size, and we'll throw them out there. So that's not this weekend, but next weekend, Disclosure Con. That's up at the Honda Conference Center up there. So make sure you're checking that out. Okay, still hanging out here at the Birdman Media Studios, and now we're going to have a little fun. We're going to chat with a gentleman I've known for, I don't know, since I moved up here.
Yeah.
Eric Neitzel.
Good afternoon.
You're with Fireground Digital, right? Okay.
Correct.
So I want to make sure you get the name right. And
Yeah.
I'm going to move your mic just
Oh,
slightly
thank
more
you.
to you, in your face.
Thank
yeah.
you.
So tell us a little bit about what Fireground Digital is in all encompassing.
Sure. Yeah. Fireground Digital. We, as in me, I say we because it's a company and me. We do digital advertising, digital signboards for restaurants, and digital menu boards for like pizza places, that thing, and digital advertising on some digital screens throughout the community.
Yeah, so you'll see them around. You'll see them here at the hub.
Mhm.
We'll see them at the, I think, the Port Station, at White Mountain
Alberto's.
Donuts,
Yeah.
Alberto, all those kind of places.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like updated information. Then it's obviously advertising.
It's
letting people-
advertising. Community members want to advertise in the Port Station and White Mountain Donuts. They can do that, and it's a pretty neat setup how we got it going.
Very cool. Now you also do some other things that involve drones. I get a kick out of. They call them drones. They're really just sort of like
Camera platforms.
Yeah, camera platforms. Yeah, because they're not really droney. But
Yeah.
anyways, that name is kind of stuck in that realm.
Yeah, and that's my other company. It's Fireground Drone Works. We got two different little segments here, but they all play into one. I do a lot of the ads with drones. But yeah, we as in me and my company.
I know how that goes. Yes.
So yeah, we do a lot of scenic stuff around town, the region. In fact, we were just featured today on Channel 3's Fall Colors update. They had a special segment, and yeah, I go out and I shoot a lot of ranches for real estate. A lot of incidents, not lot of incidents, but incidents and special events and all that kind of stuff, and it's
Yeah.
really nice.
So if you watch some of the Derby Down the Deuce stuff, you saw
Yeah.
him doing the run down the Derby Down the Deuce. You'll be doing some stuff with the White Mountain Balloon Festival,
Correct,
of
yeah.
course. I don't know if you're doing anything with the parade coming up, the fall festival.
I have
parade or
not been tasked for that, but I'm sure
Okay.
I'm going to do something.
Yeah. It's always fun because it's a parade.
Yeah.
And, but one of the reasons I had you come in here and talk about it in the community shout is the fact that you drive a lot of community understanding or outside people understanding what's going on in our community.
Yeah, right.
So talk a little bit about some of the things like, recently and probably the last few months you brought up Channel 3 and Channel 5,
Right.
which is Arizona Family, to show off the White Mountains. So talk a little bit about how that came about and
Well,
what they did.
Way back, I came up here after the Rodeo Chetasky fire. I became a media kind of guy, public information officer. So I spoke on a lot of fires through the Forest Service and made a lot of great contacts with the media. And I kept those contacts since I left and kept those relationships going. And so, they were looking for suggestions on where to go for their field trip Friday. And it came up because of my relationships that we should come up to Show Low.
There you go. And
they featured the region, and it was such a great time, and it was great for the community and all the businesses they featured. So, my whole thing is community first. I live here, and I'm proud of where I live, and I want to contribute as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's part of how we talk about the White Mountains and we show it off is through the community members that talk about it and are involved and get out there. And you're prevalent on social media.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of information because during fire season, this is a guy that to watch to find out what's going on. The fireworks is not really fireworks, but
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fireground. Sorry.
Yeah, Fireground has been doing by business for a long time, doing consulting and critical communications consulting stuff, and just kind of morphed it into mainstream local business up here.
Very cool, awesome. Anything new coming up here for the fall season?
Yeah, we've got a grand marshal. I'm not going to say who it is for the Christmas tree lighting thing in Show Low.
Okay,
tree lighting thing.
The tree lighting, yeah.
Yeah, and the parade. So stay tuned for information on that. We're bringing somebody up from the valley.
Very cool.
Name I'm sure everybody will know.
Very awesome.
So still signing the details.
Very good. Eric Neitzel once again with Fireground Digital and Fireground Drone Works. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, hey, just before I go, I've got a couple things I got to correct from this week's Mountain Talk. During the show, we talked about some of the things that are going on along fall festival time. So the Fall Festival Artisans Festival is at Charlie Clark's. It's not at the Mountain Meadow Recreational Complex. There's nothing going on there this year. There'd been a carnival in past, but not going to be this year. So just the Artisans Festival, and that's, of course, at Charlie Clark's. And then the Burger Burn is not at Honda, and I think I said that. It's at St. Mary's Church up there. So make sure you do that. I want to point those out. Everybody be safe. Had a great weekend. Have fun. It's going to be packed up here, of course, because of the car show, because of the cavalcade. So just relax, pack your patience, and remember, we got winter coming. So enjoy this wonderful fall weather. It's been a little warmer, been a little cooler. We'll work it out and figure it out. Hey, I'm Birdman. I want to thank everyone on Show Low TV, on White Mountain Independent TV, on the Birdman Media networks of YouTube and Facebook, and anyone else out there that's listening as well on the podcast. I'm Birdman from Birdman Media, and as I always say, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.